ropes. You can see that's his goal as he continues to move forward. The jab is an important weapon for both men. Valero uses it mostly as a rangefinder. There's a beauty from DeMarco.
DeMarco, normally a slow starter.
Valero said he watched only 2 rounds of tape of DeMarco. DeMarco and his trainer, Romulo Quirarte, just the opposite. They watched what they could get their hands on of Valero, even though that's not much. Valero told us that he wasn't going to think about just swarming DeMarco early, that he'd rather just take his time and do what he needed to do, and the big punches would come.
I saw Valero in the elevator in the hotel. He doesn't speak very much English, nor I do Spanish, but he looked at me, he threw a right hand, and he said, "I'm a machine. I end it quickly," with the right hand.
He saw me in the elevator, did the same thing, and used an expletive to add to that.
And already some blood on the face of Valero.
Underneath the eye, on the cheekbone. What? I guess that came from a punch. I don't know.
May have come from that stiff jab delivered by DeMarco at the very beginning.
And that's what Valero wants to do when he gets DeMarco on the ropes. Throw a lot of punches. Valero has the mentality of a puncher. He thinks if he hits you, you are going to get hurt, and ultimately you're going to go. And that's the mentality, as that's the way he proceeds in fights.
DeMarco is a very accurate puncher, folks. He's a converted right-hand puncher. Decided to turn southpaw when he watched his uncle, a former prize fighter, who was a southpaw fighter. So he has a lot of strength in the right jab and the right hook, and he'll go under and over with it.
There's the first good left hand from Valero. Let's see what it did to DeMarco. He landed a really good one.
And a cut on the right cheek of Valero. Also a rags to riches story. Father left when he was 7 years old. He worked selling fruit at a fruit stand. As he searched for work, he found a job working at, of all places, a gym. And he ended up becoming a national champion in his homeland of Venezuela. And that's the end of the first round.
Okay, it's very simple. It's just a little cut. It's no big deal. It's nothing. It is nothing. Nothing.
DeMarco landed this punch that we believe caused the cut. That was the really good jab that we believe caused the cut on the cheekbone of Edwin Valero. The jab was a very effective weapon for DeMarco on that one, and that's where he wiped the blood. But Valero was able to land a telling straight left hand. That second one was the good punch. DeMarco was able to take it very, very well.
Round 2 scheduled for 12 for the WBC lightweight title. Edwin Valero, the champion, in red. Antonio, the kid DeMarco, in black.
The DeMarco people believe that if they can take this fight into the 5th or 6th or 7th round, they'll do well. Although we should say that Valero has won his recent fights in that same time frame with stoppages. That's where DeMarco doesn't want to be against the ropes, and he motors off it.
DeMarco's people telling us that they want to keep this fight in the center of the ring. There's a left hand by Valero grazing the head, but look how peaceful, how tranquil Antonio DeMarco is. Very relaxed to start this fight.
He is. The one mistake he's making, and Valero's taking advantage of it, is he's bending down a bit, and Valero's starting to land some of those straight left hands. As when DeMarco bends in, that's a big mistake, and Valero's got the power with that straight left. He's just like a freight train with that left hand. He's always got an eye toward throwing it.
I'll say it again, DeMarco a slow starter. He'll pick his shots. but he really turns his punches over, and sometimes they come out of nowhere.
You know, Valero's throwing some good combinations. That was a great jab by DeMarco. Valero is a good combination puncher when he employs that, and he's doing it in spots here tonight.
Valero with both hands down. Valero saying that he caught an elbow. Now he's got a gash over his right head.
Yeah, that didn't come from a punch. I guarantee you that.
We're going to go to the doctor. I'm going to see.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a major gash.
Yeah, there's no way a punch caused that.
Doctor, where's the doctor? Take a look at it. Doctor.
Juan Francisco Arenas is the ringside doctor, and that is ugly. He may not be able to continue. No. Whoa, look at that gun.
Yeah. It's okay. Stay there. Accidental foul, elbow, accidental foul, elbow. Okay, accidental foul. Okay, elbow. Okay.
That brings us back to the WBC rules. Even an accidental foul results in a point deduction from the uninjured fighters. So a point was taken away from DeMarco. It would have been 2 points had it been intentional. But boy, that's a big gash.
Wow, blood pouring down the side of his face and all the way down to his trunks. We will see now what the champion Edwin Valero is made of. And he comes out, and it's time to brawl.
But remember, if this fight were stopped before round 4 because of that cut, it would be a technical draw. So if Valero thinks he's got to try and end this fight quickly, that's not the case. After round 4, they would go to the scorecards.
Remind you of when Marvin Hagler saw his blood against Tommy Hearns. He turned out to be another human being.
He did indeed, and the difference is that came from a punch.
DeMarco trying to remain patient. But there is an awfully big target on the face and a mouthpiece now gone. Valero loses his mouthpiece. DeMarco, he wants to fight his urge of being a brawler.
Here comes Valero. It's interesting. That was an intriguing round.
Neutral corner.
It's not over yet.
6 seconds ago, the second.
Bueno. Come in.
And that's the end of the round. Wow.
Relajadito, mijo, no se me desespere. Está haciendo bien las cosas.
You're getting a little desperate. You're getting a little desperate because of the cut. You just keep coming in, but don't get desperate.
Sigue igual, trabajando igual.
Here is where the elbow of Antonio DeMarco, the left elbow, will come around and hit the forehead. The right hand was there, and there comes the elbow. There's no question that's what created the cut on the forehead of Edwin Valero. Wow, that's a rough one. But the interesting thing is that later on in the round, Valero would lose his mouthpiece and have to fight a long time. That left hand got there. He'd have to fight a long time without the mouthpiece. But another little mini drama going on is I believe there's also a cut just over the eye of Valero, and that one could be more dangerous over the right eye. That's the kind of cut that could have a fight stopped. So he's got some issues to deal with.
DeMarco, very patient. He told us that that's what he wanted to do. Use his boxing skills, move around, establish that jab. Also in the first round, some blood coming out of the nose of Valero, which is a sign that the jab was landing for DeMarco.
You know, if not for all these cuts, the interesting thing is I think Valero might have won those first 2 rounds. So for him, it's going kind of the way he wants. And yet, you can make the case for DeMarco. He just wants to get out of these first 3 rounds, and he has landed some meaningful punches. There's no question about that. Oh, big left hand by Valero. DeMarco's taking those left hands very, very well.
Valero winding up on his punches.
You can feel Antonio DeMarco, though, as this fight wears on, wanting to engage just a little more. And he is landing some very good punches, but taking lefts from Valero as well.
DeMarco also with a very good chin. We've seen him in some fights recently, especially his last 3. When he fought Kid Diamond Ramkulov, he showed some tremendous boxing skills against a slick veteran and very skilled fighter. Got him out of there as well.
The interesting thing is that Valero has landed some very good lefts, and so far they have not stunned or hurt DeMarco. There's another one. And one of the big issues about Valero coming into this fight, because he hadn't really fought, there's another good left hand, he hadn't fought great opposition. Was he a great knockout puncher, or were those fighters just susceptible? His last 3 fighters, by the way, are ages 34, 36, and 39, Valero's opponents. So we'll see if his power is sustained. So